Crikey! I've lost my mojo!
So this is how the world ends? Not with a bang, but with a whimper? Hello, men. The Habs played the Dallas Stars tonight in Montreal. It was a blowout. It was a bloodbath. Of course, if you put Casey DeSmith in net and you let the Montreal Canadiens forwards have their way with him, it's going to be a bloodbath. No, that's not what happened. The bloodbath was on behalf of the Dallas Stars. The Stars made the bath bloody with the blood of the Montreal Canadiens. Let's talk about it.
Here's Pirna.
This was a game that I was anxious about. I didn't know if the Montreal Canadiens could rise to the occasion, especially after losing the past few games in kind of a manner that didn't give you a whole lot of confidence. But seeing Nick Suzuki at practice, seeing Dobesh drawing into net, you had a little hope that they could dig deep and beat the Dallas Stars, who have a great record. They're definitely a playoff team, but I was worried. I was really worried, and I hope that a couple of the other things fell into place. I hope that Caulfield would start shooting more. He's been shooting like shooting and hitting the net once or twice per game lately. And seeing Matheson and Dobson pair up more with the first line than Hudson, I found that the impact of that first line has been taken away a little bit, although Suzuki is definitely dealing with something, and Slav's last game was lackluster. So if those Stars started to align, then maybe they could perform well against the Dallas Stars. That didn't happen. I'm going to recap the game, but first, can you do me a favor? I could really use it to cheer me up. Consider subscribing. We're following the Habs here. If you're a Habs fan, I think that I'm serving up what you want. Hit that subscribe button, become a member of the community. I would love to have you as part of this community. Community members, you know what you have to do. Hit that like button. It helps us out with, stuff to find us. Stuff to find us. So we start where we always start. La formation de départ. C'est la formation de départ. I jokingly embellish my accent, but in actuality, I am not a great French speaker. And I always gotta say, attaquant. Our forwards, we got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov, Bolduc, Doc, Gallagher, Anderson, Evans, Veleno. Nos défenseurs, our defensemen, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, Xhekaj, Carrier. No gardien. Our goalies, Montembeault, Dobesh is in net. You've been waiting for Dobesh, but it's not the game that you want to see with him. Yeah, maybe he was benched for too long. I don't even know if that's a thing, but people are legitimately saying that, so could definitely be a thing. So before the puck dropped, everyone was all smiles. St. Louis and Suzuki were sharing a joke. Newhook was snorting on some smelling salts, and they dropped the puck. First period, not bad. No, good first period, actually, kind of. Slav is back to his old self. He's getting in the middle of plays, good forechecking. His passes are connecting, important. But Caulfield and Suzuki, I don't know. Suzuki's still looking like he's kind of nursing something down below. Maybe a little bit of a groin thing going on. You know when you get one of those groin things? Now we see Veleno get a gift, but he doesn't want to put it in the open net. Getting a little frustrated with Veleno. A lot of the community is as well. Now we see Bischel interfering with Anderson, and guess what? Somebody actually calls an interference call in favor of Anderson here. Anderson attracts an interference call. That never happens. So the Montreal Canadiens go on the power play, and they look okay, but they're not able to finish anything. Dallas kills off the penalty, and Doc immediately gives Dallas a power play. Doc has taken a lot of penalties lately, but they're not all his fault. However, it's a costly penalty because the Stars capitalize.
Rantanen down low, pop pass, score. Wyatt
Johnston makes it 1-0. Matheson not getting between Johnston here. Dobson pretty loose on his guy as well. And if you're seeing Dobson and Matheson, who have been on a tear defensively this season, if you're seeing them do poorly, it's going to be a sign of things to come. Not good. First period ends. I could have highlighted some of the other things that happened. You know, the other things that I really noticed was Suzuki not skating like he usually does and not being as hard on his guys. But I think what stood out in the first period was Slavkovsky really being out there with some energy. Second period starts, and this is where it goes all downhill.
Plays it across. Heiskanen. Wrist shot blocked again. Oh, and that one hurt. Lindell. Wrist shot. Score.
Lindell, 2-0. Doc takes a shot. He goes down in pain here. This is after giving his stick to Carrier, whose stick broke, but Doc is out of the play. This opens up the ice. Lindell gets into the slot. He gets fed. Bolduc is, he can't look at 3 places at once. And Dobesh leaves in a weak one. Dobesh, shaky start. Not very many saves, but 2 goals. Not good. They drop the puck at center ice. The very next play, Newhook goes hard into the boards. You are worried about this because he doesn't get up right away. Newhook usually gets up right away. He was hooked and he was taken down. And when they show the slow motion replay, check it out. It's really bad. It looks like his ankle, certainly. I actually hope that this is just an ankle injury. It's probably a pretty bad ankle injury, but it could also be knee. He was having a career season, guys. Alex Newhook, he was doing so good. It's crushing. And if it's crushing to me, you can imagine the guys that he's closest with, because this is probably traumatic. And that's kind of what I feel happened for the rest of the game. They see their good buddy go out like that in pain. This guy he's a warrior. He's built freaking solid. He doesn't get hurt. He's a rock for the team. So after that,
For Lane Hudson tonight, look out, Sagan in, score! Tyler Sagan, 3-0.
Hudson overcommits here. Seguin gets behind him, gets fed, deposits the puck behind Dobesh. 3-0 for the Stars. Stop the bleeding. Give your head a shake. St. Louis, call a timeout if you have to. Do something.
Stop, lost the puck. Branson quickly in transition. Over the line, flips it across. Robertson, backdoor feed, score! Oh.
Jason Robertson, 4-0. Kapanen turns the puck over here. Carrier removes himself at the play at the blue line inexplicably. This is totally not a Carrier mistake. So what happens is Kapanen has to come in and cover for Carrier. Can't get in there in time. Robertson is unleashed and he puts it past Dobesh. So now, pull Dobesh or something, call a timeout, say, hey guys, I know we're upset with ourselves, whatever. No, Martin St. Louis, he doesn't make goalie changes on the fly. And he's not he'll call timeouts, but you should call them more often.
No Duchesne, and of course the captain, Ben, out as well. Is that Rishot score? Another one.
Robertson scores again, 5-0. Robertson puts up a harmless shot in front of the net. There's a couple of guys in front. He's probably hoping that someone gets to bang the puck in if it gets loose. But Dobesh just lets in a beach ball. 5-0. 5-0. I want to mention something like 2 shots on net for the Montreal Canadiens this period after putting, 15 shots on net in the first period? 14? Excuse me. They put 3 shots on net this entire second period. That's how it's going to end. They let in 4 goals this period. You're hoping that this isn't a deeper thing. You're hoping, like I said, this is just they're still shocked that Newhook got injured that way and they can't shake it and they're not on their game. Third period starts. Guess what? Dobesh is not in net. Timbo is swapped out between periods. Obviously, no sign of Newhook, and pretty early within the first period, they announced that he's being evaluated, but he's not returning to the game. First shot of the third period for the Dallas Stars, I believe, is a Petrovic goal.
There's Faksa delivering the backhand pass. Petrovic, the shots.
So Montembeault lets the first shot in, as is tradition. I don't even want to talk about it. You're just like one goal or something that could create a spark or do something to make this game not so ugly. I mean, people paid to see this game. Like, what about Xhekaj beating the crap out of somebody?
In front of us, it's Arbor Xhekaj, and not much of a fight.
Xhekaj and Lyubushkin get into a fight, and Lyubushkin puts Xhekaj in a headlock and takes him down immediately. Lyubushkin, how big is Lyubushkin? Xhekaj got taken out by Labubu, 6'2", 206 pounds. Their mojo has been completely absorbed by the Dallas Stars. It's ridiculous. Just end the game. It's all over for the Montreal Canadiens.
Look out, bouncing in front, score! What a...
Fasca makes it 7-0. Matheson here loses a foot race for icing. The puck gets bobbled around behind the net. It flips up behind Montembeault, and Fasca bats it in out of the air. It's not Montembeault's fault, But it's ridiculous, man. The hockey gods really wanted to feed the Canadiens some humble pie today. End of the game, obviously not a good game. This is one that you're going to want to forget real fast. But like I said, I hope it's not a deeper a deeper sign of things to come. You know what? I'm going to watch the post-game interviews. I'll get back to you.
Tu sais, je trouve on a perdu un petit peu le mojo, là, tu sais,
That's a funny coincidence. But basically what was said, they interviewed Matheson, Gallagher, and St. Louis. When they interview Matheson and Gallagher and that's it, you know that it is a butthurt squad. Gallagher is used to having these conversations at the end of the game. Matheson, a very mature player. St. Louis says he's not worried. He's not worried about anybody's confidence. It's things that they need to work on. Matheson thinks that the game just got away from them. They didn't find the spark that they needed to get anything going. The momentum was completely within Dallas's hands. You know, that's somewhat empty words, and you might disagree with me, but I think what Gallagher said was the most relevant. He said that the solution for these problems are in the room and that he's seen it happen just last season, so he's not worried. And I think that's true. The thing is, Montembeault or Dobesh need to really bring it together. I'm not saying a lot of what happened tonight was their fault, but 19 shots on goals, 7 goals? Is that what it was? Something like that anyway. Yeah, there's problems there. I've watched plenty of Jets games where Hellebuck just stood on his head and, saved everything. Or what was the game the other day? Was it the Blackhawks? Their goaltender stole the game, I think. You want a goaltender that can steal you games. 2-goal games. Maybe they saved 30 shots that night. Perfect. That's where you got to be at. 2-goal games where there's 30 shots or above, you're stealing games for your team. And you can get into semantics about high danger opportunities and stuff like that. But I just think a hot goaltender, they can do wonders. So the goaltender talking point is raging on. But that's going to do it for me, guys. This game is not worth talking too much about. It's not, we don't have to take a can opener to this and really figure out what all the worms look like. It was not a fun game to watch. And seeing Newhook go out like that shouldn't have happened to Newhook. And it's really ripping me up right now. So yeah, hope you're all doing well though. Life goes on. That's they'll bounce back from this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. I'll talk to you guys again soon. They play on Saturday versus the Bruins, who unfortunately have somehow risen from the dead. I think they currently have 11-8-0 record, more wins than the Habs. That's right. That means that the Habs, there's a 3-way tie for points in the Atlantic. So tomorrow, the Montreal Canadiens might end their tenure in first place in the Atlantic. Oh, okay, let's end it there. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button, helps me out with search results or something like that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you as part of the community. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.